Sophia Loren, born Sophia Villani Ciccalone on September 20, 1934, in Rome, Italy, is one of the most iconic actresses in the history of world cinema. Her story is one of remarkable transformation, from a poor, sickly girl in war-torn Italy to a glamorous international film star. Her journey is emblematic of post-war resilience and the powerful allure of cinema as a means of escape and expression. Sophia was born into a difficult family situation. Her father, Riccardo Ciccalone, refused to marry her mother, Romilda Villani, a piano teacher and aspiring actress. Romilda was forced to raise Sophia and her younger sister, Maria, largely on her own. The family lived in Pozzuoli, near Naples, in extreme poverty. During World War II, their conditions worsened as they often had to take refuge in shelters during bombings and struggle with food shortages. As a child, Sophia was shy and considered awkward by her peers due to her tall, skinny frame and prominent features. However, her fortunes began to shift in her early teens when she entered a local beauty contest at age 14. Though she didn't win, her exotic looks caught the attention of film producers and photographers. This led to a series of modeling jobs and small film roles, often uncredited, under the stage name Sophia Lazzaro. Her big break came when she met producer Carlo Ponti, a man who would not only become her mentor but later her husband. Ponti saw great potential in the young actress and encouraged her to take acting lessons and improve her diction and stage presence. Under his guidance, she changed her stage name to Sophia Loren, a name inspired by the Swedish actress Märta Thoren. In the early 1950s, Loren began to land more substantial roles in Italian films, particularly comedies and melodramas. Her beauty and charisma made her a standout, but it was her determination to grow as an actress that truly set her apart. She starred in films such as Ida, 1953, in which she played the title role and proved she could handle serious material. Her collaboration with director Vittorio De Sica and actor Marcello Mastroianni in the 1954 film Too Bad She's Bad further boosted her profile. With each new project, she demonstrated not only screen presence but also a deepening emotional range that would eventually win her global acclaim. By the mid-1950s, Sophia had caught the attention of Hollywood. She began to appear in English-language films, often opposite the most famous male leads of the time, including Cary Grant, Frank Sinatra, and Clark Gable. Her performance in The Pride and the Passion, 1957, and Houseboat, 1958, helped solidify her star power in America. Despite her rising fame, Loren was never content to be simply a screen beauty. She sought complex roles that allowed her to explore the human condition. Her early experiences of poverty, war, and loss gave her performances a depth that resonated with audiences worldwide. Sophia Loren's early career laid the groundwork for what would become a legendary path in film. It was a period marked by struggle, transformation, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. Through talent, intelligence, and sheer force of will, she rose from obscurity to become a timeless icon, not just of Italian cinema but of international artistry. The zenith of Sophia Loren's illustrious career arrived in the late 1950s and extended throughout the 1960s, a period that saw her emerge not only as one of Europe's most glamorous actresses, but also as a powerhouse of emotional depth and cinematic versatility. Her on-screen presence was magnetic, regal, earthy, and captivating, making her one of the first international actresses to transition successfully from European cinema to Hollywood and back, all while preserving her unique Italian essence. The turning point in Loren's career came in 1960 with the groundbreaking film Two Women, Leccio Chiara, directed by Vittorio De Sica. In the film, she played Shazira, a mother trying to protect her daughter in war-torn Italy. It was a departure from the seductive roles she had often been cast in previously, and the performance revealed a raw, harrowing side of Loren that shocked and amazed audiences and critics alike. Her portrayal of Shazira earned her the Academy Award for Best Actress, making her the first actor to win an Oscar for a foreign-language performance. This achievement cemented her as an international star and proved her dramatic range extended far beyond her stunning looks. Following this triumph, Loren became a darling of both European auteurs and Hollywood directors, She starred in a series of successful films such as El Cid, 1961 with Charlton Heston, Yesterday, Today and Tomorrow, 1963, and Marriage Italian Style, 1964, both with Marcello Mastroianni. Her chemistry with Mastroianni became the stuff of cinematic legend, and their collaborations are considered some of the finest examples of Italian romantic drama comedy. Loren's popularity in the US soared during this time, and she worked with leading men including Cary Grant, Clark Gable, Peter Sellers, and Frank Sinatra. Her fluency in English and her willingness to adapt to different styles of filmmaking allowed her to move seamlessly between the glamour of Hollywood and the more grounded neo-realistic tradition of Italian cinema. Unlike many international stars who lost their footing in Hollywood, Loren managed to maintain her cultural authenticity, which made her appeal all the more enduring. In addition to her film success, Loren became a symbol of grace and beauty. Her fashion sense and elegance made her a muse for designers and a trendsetter across the globe. Yet she never allowed herself to be boxed in by her image. Instead, she used her fame as a platform to expand her repertoire and take creative risks that others would have shied away from. During this golden period, Sophia Loren not only ruled the box office but also won numerous accolades, including Golden Globes, BAFTAs, and an honorary Golden Lion from the Venice Film Festival. Her name became synonymous with strength, femininity, and resilience, an embodiment of post-war European sophistication meeting global stardom. Loren's peak years were not merely about professional acclaim. They marked the cultural shift in how international actresses were perceived in American cinema. No longer relegated to exotic side roles, Loren, with her talent and force of personality, demanded an earned center stage. It was this combination of beauty, brilliance, and boldness that etched her name permanently into the annals of film history. While Sophia Loren's career is often viewed through the lens of glamour and cinematic triumph, her journey has also been marked by profound personal challenges and public controversies that tested her resolve and shaped her legacy. One of the earliest and most enduring controversies in Loren's life revolved around her long and complex relationship with Italian film producer Carlo Ponti. When they first met, Ponti was married with 2 children, and their relationship became the subject of intense scrutiny and moral outrage in 1950s Catholic Italy. Though deeply in love, the couple had to navigate a rigid legal system and the harsh glare of public opinion. Ponti's attempts to obtain a divorce and remarry Loren sparked a legal battle that dragged on for years. At one point, both faced the threat of bigamy charges in Italy, which led them to have their marriage annulled before finally marrying legally in France in 1966. The scandal haunted them for decades, yet their bond remained unbreakable, proving to be a cornerstone of Loren's emotional life. Another major crisis that shadowed Loren was her brief but painful time in prison. In 1982, she was sentenced to 30 days in an Italian prison for alleged tax evasion. Although Loren always maintained that the issue was a result of an accountant's miscalculation, the incident cast a shadow over her otherwise impeccable public image. Her imprisonment, though short, was emotionally devastating. Yet, in typical Loren fashion, she emerged with her dignity intact, later using the experience to advocate for prison reform and speak out against media sensationalism. Loren's career, while long and decorated, was not immune to criticism and ageism, especially as she grew older in an industry known for discarding women past their prime. She often had to confront tabloid rumors and sexist assumptions about her relevance and appearance. Critics speculated about plastic surgery, while some questioned her ongoing roles in film as attempts to cling to fading fame. Loren responded not with bitterness, but with grace and poise, reinforcing her belief that beauty and talent are not bound by age. Moreover, being a woman of international fame during a highly politicized era also meant Loren had to navigate political controversies. Her decision to remain apolitical in public, especially during the tumultuous years of Italian politics, drew criticism from both sides of the political spectrum. Yet Loren maintained that her loyalty was to her art and her family, not political ideologies. This stance, though unpopular in some circles, allowed her to remain a unifying figure for fans of all backgrounds. Behind the public controversies, there were private battles as well. Loren's lifelong yearning for a stable family life was challenged by her multiple miscarriages before giving birth to her 2 sons. She has spoken candidly about the emotional toll of these losses and how they nearly broke her spirit. These deeply personal tragedies are less discussed, but represent some of the most painful moments in her life. Through each crisis and controversy, Sophia Loren has exemplified resilience. Her capacity to weather scandals, confront injustice, and face emotional trauma has not only deepened her character, but enriched her performances with authenticity and emotional depth. In facing adversity, Loren did not retreat or lash out. She evolved, embodying strength, wisdom, and perseverance. These experiences, far from tarnishing her legacy, have only made it more profound. After experiencing a period of personal and professional challenges in the late 1970s and early 1980s, Sophia Loren demonstrated an extraordinary ability to rise once more and redefine her legacy in a new era. Unlike many of her contemporaries who faded into obscurity, Loren carefully chose a path that honored her past while adapting to the evolving nature of the entertainment industry. Her return was not only a testament to her timeless appeal, but also a powerful example of resilience, self-awareness, and artistic integrity. Following her temporary retreat from Hollywood, Loren focused on selective projects that allowed her to showcase her dramatic depth. Instead of chasing commercial success, she gravitated toward roles that resonated with her personal values and maturity. One of the most notable turning points in her comeback was the 1980 television movie Sophia Loren, Her Own Story, in which she played both herself and her mother. The film, adapted from her best-selling autobiography, gave audiences an intimate look into the emotional highs and lows of her life. It was a bold and vulnerable performance that rekindled public interest in her story. In the decades that followed, Loren continued to shine in a variety of roles that reflected her evolution as an actress and a woman. She appeared in several Italian films, such as Aurora, 1984, and Sabato, Domenica e Lunedì, 1990, and reunited with director Ettore Scola in The Voyage, 1992. These projects reaffirmed her connection with European cinema and reminded the world of her cultural roots. Her performances were nuanced, often portraying matriarchal figures with grace, dignity, and emotional complexity, far removed from the bombshell image of her youth. Perhaps her most acclaimed late-career performance came in 2009, when Loren starred in Rob Marshall's Nine, alongside a cast of international stars. Though her screen time was limited, her appearance was greeted with reverence. It was not just a cameo, it was a reminder of her stature in the cinematic pantheon. And in 2020, at the age of 86, she returned in The Life Ahead, directed by her son Edoardo Ponti, a powerful film that earned her widespread critical acclaim and several award nominations. As Madame Rosa, a Holocaust survivor who forms a bond with a Senegalese orphan, Loren gave one of the most poignant performances of her career. The film premiered on Netflix, bringing her talents to a new generation of viewers. Off-screen, Sophia Loren also found renewed purpose in her philanthropic endeavors and public appearances. She became a beloved guest at film festivals, retrospectives, and award ceremonies. With each appearance, she reminded audiences of her wit, warmth, and humility. Her commitment to mentoring young talent and sharing her life story inspired countless aspiring actors and fans worldwide. Her rebirth wasn't just a professional reinvention, it was a personal triumph. Sophia Loren had conquered not only the expectations of a fickle industry, but also the stereotypes that often limit women in the arts as they age. She embraced her history without being imprisoned by it. Her return to the spotlight was done on her terms, with authenticity and elegance. In every sense, Sophia Loren's comeback has been a celebration of enduring artistry and womanhood. She reemerged not simply as a movie star, but as a symbol of enduring beauty, inner strength, and artistic perseverance. Her journey stands as one of the most dignified and inspiring comebacks in cinematic history. Sophia Loren's legacy transcends her undeniable beauty and illustrious filmography. She stands as a symbol of timeless elegance, resilience, and trailblazing spirit in global cinema. Over the decades, Loren crafted a public image that celebrated both her sensuality and strength, never compromising her values in an industry often driven by superficiality and conformity. Her legacy is deeply woven into the fabric of Italian culture and international film history, where she is revered as a pioneer for actresses who sought to control their narratives and own their artistry. Loren's influence began with her ascent during the golden age of Italian cinema in the 1950s and 1960s. She brought authenticity, humor, and emotional depth to roles that, in lesser hands, could have been one-dimensional. Her portrayal of Shasira in Two Women, Laccio Chiara, for which she became the first actor to win an Academy Award for a foreign-language performance, redefined the boundaries of what international actors could achieve in Hollywood. Her Oscar win opened doors for non-English speaking performers and proved that excellence in acting could transcend language barriers. Beyond acting, Sophia Loren also shaped fashion and style. Known for her sophisticated glamour, she became an icon of mid-century elegance, inspiring countless designers, photographers, and actresses. Her image, graceful yet earthy, regal yet relatable, was not just admired but emulated across continents. Even today, fashion houses pay homage to Loren's enduring style, and she remains a muse for many contemporary artists and stylists. Perhaps one of Loren's most powerful legacies lies in her unwavering commitment to authenticity. Despite offers to alter her appearance to fit Hollywood norms, she remained proudly Italian, refusing to conform to narrow beauty standards. This pride in her heritage resonated deeply with audiences, especially women, who saw in her a rare combination of glamour and groundedness. She represented not just aspirational beauty, but the triumph of self-acceptance and cultural pride. Sophia Loren also used her platform to uplift others. Through mentorship and advocacy, she has supported young actors and filmmakers, especially in Italy. Her story is frequently cited as inspiration for those who come from humble beginnings, yet aspire to greatness. She has been a frequent honoree at film festivals, retrospectives, and academic conferences, where her work is studied for its social, political, and cinematic relevance. In her later years, Loren returned occasionally to the screen, most notably in The Life Ahead, 2020, directed by her son Edoardo Ponti. The performance received critical acclaim and showcased that even in her 80s, Loren retained her magnetism, nuance, and dramatic power. Her ability to remain relevant across generations is a testament to her extraordinary talent and adaptability. Sophia Loren's influence will likely never fade. She broke barriers not just as a woman in film, but as a woman who dared to define success on her own terms. Her name is etched in cinematic history, not only because of her accomplishments, but because of the path she carved for others to follow. In an industry that often forgets, Sophia Loren is unforgettable, a luminous legend whose legacy continues to inspire, empower, and enchant. Behind Sophia Loren's dazzling smile, captivating performances, and status as a cinematic icon, lies a life touched deeply by personal sorrow. While her public persona often reflected elegance and resilience, one of the most profound and enduring heartaches of her life stemmed from her deeply personal struggles with motherhood and the loss associated with it. Sophia Loren's greatest sorrow centered around her painful journey to become a mother. Although she appeared to live a life of glamour and success, Loren longed deeply to start a family. After marrying the love of her life, film producer Carlo Ponti, Loren faced multiple miscarriages, each one chipping away at her dreams and emotional well-being. She suffered not one, but 2 miscarriages in her early years of marriage. The emotional toll was compounded by the intense media scrutiny she faced, as the press often intruded upon her most vulnerable moments. These experiences left her emotionally devastated. Loren later revealed in her autobiography that the miscarriages were not only physically painful but spiritually crushing, and for a time she fell into a state of depression. She described feeling isolated, as though the bright lights of Hollywood could never outshine the shadows that hovered over her heart. At a time when her career was soaring, she was privately grappling with a sorrow that few could see. Her immense desire to become a mother was not merely about fulfilling a social expectation. It was a core part of her identity and her dream for a complete life. When she finally gave birth to her first son, Carlo Jr., in 1968, it was seen as a miracle. However, even then, Loren was haunted by the fragility of that joy. During her pregnancy, she was ordered to remain on complete bed rest for months to avoid complications. This period was one of extreme anxiety, where every movement and every symptom felt like a threat to the life she so desperately wanted to protect. Another source of deep sorrow in Loren's life was the passing of her beloved husband, Carlo Ponti, in 2007. Their love story was one of Hollywood's most enduring romances. Having withstood scandals, legal complexities, and the test of time, his death left an irreplaceable void in her heart. Loren often described Ponti as her anchor, the man who guided her through the tempestuous waters of fame, and losing him was akin to losing a part of herself. Though Sophia Loren would continue to appear in film and receive accolades, the sorrow of her earlier losses and her grief over Ponti's death never fully faded. Instead, they became part of the emotional tapestry that defined her strength and grace. These sorrows were not signs of weakness, but testimonies to the depth of her character. They humanized the legend and made her story not just one of cinematic triumphs, but of perseverance, love, and emotional depth. Sophia Loren's greatest sorrow, then, was not just one event, but a chapter of deeply personal trials that tested her resilience. Through her openness about these experiences, Loren not only found healing but also gave a voice to countless women facing similar struggles. Her vulnerability became a powerful part of her legacy, reminding the world that even legends are touched by pain, and that their beauty lies in how they rise above it.